Welcome. This is story time with Adam and Kalub. This episode, Avengers Endgame. Alright, go ahead, Adam. First thoughts.
How the fuck is that guy Captain America?
Yes! Yes! We talked about that. That's horseshit. And the whole intersectionality. The whole, the girls. You saw the girls get together. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Like, I was fucking cringing. God.
I figured you'd probably notice that. That was so gross.
Yeah, like if they're working together, you know what I mean, that's cool, you know what I mean? But it's like you separate them, it's like, that's like segregation, you know what I mean?
Oh, it's just like baiting for fucking
The Oscars.
Yeah.
Yeah, I cringed. And that's exactly what I thought. I'm like, wow, they're just doing that just to win the awards.
By the way, spoilers.
Oh, yeah.
Um,
No one watches. By the time anyone does watch us, the movie's already out.
we're gonna piss off some guy and he's gonna spend his whole life just fucking
Trying to murder
trashing down our videos. Come up with some scheme and like get us to use copyright material or something.
So anything, first thoughts. Stupid Captain America. They went for the intersectional approach.
They better fucking stick to their guns on those deaths.
What the?
Catwoman and Iron Man.
Iron Man did die.
Because they're like the perma-dead people. They're not supposed to come back.
Okay.
So they better fucking not bring them
no,
back.
I don't think they're gonna make any more superhero movies, dude.
Okay.
No, hold on, do you understand that every 10 years there's been different like phases of film that have really been popular, right? From 2000 to 2010. Okay, well, you can notice certain things, right?
Mm-hmm.
One, you notice from 2000 to 2010 the absolute death of television. Okay? Then at the end of television's life, you saw the zombie stuff reemerge. And you know when the zombie stuff coincided with?
What?
The zombie show like startups coincide with the 2008 economy crash. So everyone felt like they're in this apocalyptic state. You know what I mean? With that being said, the superhero trend also started during the 2010. And that's just one example. I really can't think of anything. But it's gonna, after 2020, any superhero movies are just not gonna be the same than before. Make sense? Everyone's gonna talk back to the other superhero movies. Make sense? Until 10, 20, 30 years from now, if they manage to revive it somehow. You know what I mean? But everyone's gonna look back on these now. And that's why at the end you saw all the movies line up, remember? And, so yeah, there's no more superheroes. I'm telling you, this is the end one. Tony Stark's dead. He finished his contract. He's done.
Yeah, I'd heard it was the end, but people, when I said something about it, people didn't know what I was talking about.
Yeah, and they're smart. If they tried to milk it any longer, it wouldn't work. There's no way. Because Iron Man started in like 2008, 2009, right?
I do not know.
Well, it was early, right? It wasn't like 2013. It was like 2010.
Yeah. Because I'm trying to remember how young I was when I saw Iron Man. I do remember the fucking hype for the end credit shit.
Of Iron Man?
Yeah.
I don't remember. I didn't watch. You watched it in the theater?
Yeah. Because that was... I'm pretty sure that's when they, like, teased that they were doing, like, the Avengers. So after Iron Man, we find out that we're getting, like, the whole fucking shebang.
Really? And then they made a shitty Avengers like this? Really think about it. Okay, well, I don't remember the first Avenger. The first, not Civil War, the one before this.
Thanos?
Yeah, where he snaps his fingers and everything dies. I didn't remember that. Like, why did Ant-Man mysteriously just come out of a fucking van?
He had his second movie, I think.
Okay, so in his second movie, he got stuck in that van?
Yeah.
Okay.
What else were you saying?
No, that's it. Just Ant-Man.
Oh.
And then, did it explain why Hulk is like that? Earlier?
Well, they explain in the movie.
That he managed to control it?
Yeah.
But why would they do that?
Well, that's actually a comic book character. He's gray in the comic books, though. He's just like this... He's that guy.
And he's like a smaller version of the Hulk? Did you see the real Hulk?
I think he is like the actual size. He just has this really big, tight fucking...
No, but remember when they were in the same city? And then he's acting like the Hulk smashing? And remember when Hulk smashed the car in like fucking one hit? And then he goes over to hit it, and he seemed like he was half the size when he went to go hit it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I don't think they're the same size.
Well, in the comic books, I think I've seen them. Because I've watched like videos and shit. I like that they made him like just fucking gross.
What do you mean?
Because that Hulk form, he was just the way he like acted was so like gross.
I still don't remember.
Let's see. I'm trying to think of an example. Oh, like Ant-Man's like, oh, I can get a picture too, and then the Hulk guy just will not let it go, and he's like dragging out the whole thing.
What do you mean?
Ant-Man said, I can get a picture with you too, and they're like, who are you? And he's like, oh, never mind. But
okay, yeah, I get you now. Sorry. So what about that? You didn't like that?
no, I like that. It's such like a funny way to take the like personality of it, because like in that form he's the best of both forms.
Yeah.
But he turns into this kind of like just gross person.
Yeah.
I don't know the actual word for it, but I find it gross, so I'm just calling it gross.
Yeah.
So yeah, I like that they did that.
You okay? Can I talk now?
Yes.
How do you feel at the end? How they commemorated all the actors?
Okay.
I just so cringy. It's like you play a role. Okay, I don't know. It's like it's cringy for me.
I hope it was like a contract thing.
Okay, fine. If it was a contract thing, okay, you know what I mean? But if it's like, because they're like, wow, this is a good idea, let's commemorate these actors for their roles, I was like, that's fucking disgusting. If it's like, oh, I'm paying for you to do this, it's like, okay. It's like, oh, you said Tony Stark or Robert Downey Jr. can do it for $3 million, well, I want one for $3 million. Because Endgame is coming on every digital download and every Blu-ray shelf.
I thought the Scarlet Witch would have some more. Because didn't they kind of like build her up as like some crazy force?
Scarlett Johansson?
No, the Scarlet Witch.
Who's that?
That's the redhead in the red coat who has red
Oh,
powers.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know anything about superhero stories or anything.
Like in the other movies,
They've made her seem OP?
yeah, they made her seem kind of OP. And then in the next movie, now Captain Marvel's on the scene and she's fucking broken. And the way they get around it is they just send her away. And then at the end of the movie, she comes out and she's like alive again. And then she does like a one scene of shit and gets knocked out or something like that.
Yeah, I don't know. I forgot. I was gonna say something right before. What were we talking about right before this?
We were talking about.
Okay, whatever. What do you have to say?
What else is there?
That's such a cheap way of fixing it, though. No? Is that not like a cheap way of fixing the Thanos' issue? You know what I mean?
What, sending her away?
No, going in time travel.
Oh. Kinda, yeah.
Because it's like then, what? Okay, so it's like then it wasn't permanent. And that means what they did isn't permanent either and can just happen again. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. I found the blue cyborg lady. I think her name is Nebula.
Okay.
When they get to the planet, she just automatically fucking spits out other memories and shit. Like she doesn't do that other times.
Yeah, and then it wasn't even reversed. Why didn't she ever see what the other ones were seeing?
Oh, she did. There was one scene where they did it, but they only did it once.
But that's not fair, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. But I just don't get why. Why the fuck would he just suddenly do that? And if they make their own mind network, then...
Yeah, how do they even connect across?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, because maybe... Oh, well, what I'm thinking is that they don't have organic brains, right? So, in an organic universe in which you've time traveled and you're in the same universe, same timeline as your same self, just in a different location, but you're in the future, you're from the future, right? Because you're an organic being, you don't mentally connect with her because she's mechanical in the way, because technically your future self is going to go through life and go through this whole thing again and do this. You know what I mean? So because she's doing her past self still hasn't done it, but is here. Makes sense?
Get out of here.
Fuck. We're not smoking. Do you want to go move to the beach?
Yes, but I cannot drive.
Okay, I can drive. Okay, be right back.
We didn't start it, did we?
Yeah. We still have 45
Oh, yeah.
We still have 45 minutes to record. Anyways, we're back, ladies and gentlemen.
Hello.
After a short inconvenience, we are back. also Endgame.
Endgame. What did we already talk about? Oh yeah. Honestly, that whole last fight was kind of cringy.
Was he all like
Yeah.
circled in?
Yeah, kinda. And then there's like the point where fucking Black Panther steps in. He's like, "Let me do this."
Yeah.
And he goes and like does some backflips off people and shit like that. Nobody else got that fucking like cool.
Like a good 15, 20, 30 seconds.
Yeah. It was always like Spider-Man was the only one that was like good.
Damn, remember when Spider-Man was getting attacked, like surrounded? I was like, fuck.
I like that it's just called death mode. Or is it like kill mode or something like that? Captain Marvel.
Dude, and I was thinking about it. That's so stupid. He was in his room, twirling a little string around, and then the string, like, turned orange, and he's like, oh, I've done it. You know what I mean? When he discovered time travel?
Oh.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, what, really?
Tony Stark just on a whim fucking discovers time travel.
Well, he probably went off what they said, remember? They just said, like, oh, I think it's this. I think we can go use Ant-Man's thing. It was subatomic.
It was like, I think we can...
No, because Ant-Man was there. And he explained it to him. He's like, I already thought about that, and that won't work because blah, 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 blah. And then he has a little bit of scenes, and that night he is on the computer, and he has...
Yeah.
So I think he listened to what they said, put it in, and then he's like, I found it out. You just have to do this and do that.
Well, the Hulk guy, they hadn't figured out time travel yet.
Okay.
Like, they were still working out the kinks in it.
Okay.
And Tony Stark comes and without even testing anything, he's like, oh, you did this.
Yeah.
With, like, literally no context.
Yeah.
So he figured out all of it in one fucking night.
Yeah. And he's supposed to be super smart?
Huh?
He's supposed to be super smart in comic books?
Yeah. Well, he invents, like, fucking robots and super weapons and shit like that. He's like the Batman of the fucking Marvel universe.
What, Batman makes a bunch of robots and...
Well, Batman does the things where, like, he'll ensure he has a way of killing all the Justice League, and just in case they go rogue. He, like, spies on people and shit like that. Like, there's cameras everywhere.
What the heck?
What else is there? And Iron Man is just kind of like that on crack. Like he managed to make a pseudo armor that was as strong as the Hulk.
Are you serious?
Yeah, in the first Avengers, they deploy the Hulkbuster, which is just this big Iron Man suit that looks like fucking Juggernaut, and it fights Hulk, and they like kill him, or they don't kill him, they knock him out.
Jeez. And Hulk is so strong he can punch through universes.
If he gets angry enough.
So he can't just do it on whenever he wants?
Yeah, his strength is based entirely on his anger.
So what do you get so mad about?
I don't know. People do fucked up shit to Hulk. In the comic books, you know how he got sent to that junk planet, right? Just like because... So at the end of the first movie, Hulk is in like the jet thing that they have, and it, for some reason, gets shot the fuck off into space.
Oh.
With Hulk on it, and Hulk can't figure out how to put it down. And in the Thor movie, he gets sent to a junk planet through a portal, and the Hulk is there, and he's like this fucking great gladiator.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
So that's how they did in the movies. In the actual comics, they fucking, like, exiled Hulk.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Why?
Because he's Hulk, and he just fucks up everything every once in a while.
So they exiled him?
Yeah.
The Earth did.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like the Avengers did.
Yeah.
So that's the kind of stuff that could lead to, like, universe punching shit.
Yeah. It's crazy. What about the movie? What do you have to say about the movie?
I'm kind of disappointed that they didn't do anything with Loki. Especially if this is the end of the
Why?
universe. Because Loki grabs a cube and then just fucking disappears with it.
Yeah.
And,
Oh, and that's it. He's gone.
yeah. And, well, I think that it was intended to be that, like, they put the stone back so that it undid everything. But if they put the stone back at the right time, that means that it'd still be there for them to fuck up that task later in the movie. So Loki has that cube in that universe.
Okay.
And he's escaped. So that's just a split timeline from, what is it, the Avengers 2 forward.
So do you think they're gonna do something with it?
They could, but if this is the end, then that's just gone.
Unexplained. Because I think the simple explanation is that they went even farther back in time, and then they influenced time way before he even did anything with the cube. Does it make sense? Like they saved the universe before he could give it to Thanos or anything could happen. You know what I mean? In which they couldn't get access to it. Does it make sense?
Well, it was just Steve Rogers that did all that.
Who's Steve Rogers?
Captain America.
Okay.
So he returned all 5 cubes, or all 5 Infinity Stones.
Yeah. What I'm saying...
I don't see him going to, like, space and shit like that.
No, what I'm saying is Loki, when he disappeared with the cube, okay, that maybe when he was gone with the cube, he didn't do anything with it in enough time for them to go even farther back in time to get that cube in which is in the 70s or whatever. And then, you know what I mean? Say he could have gave to Thanos and Thanos because within an instant Thanos could already went to the 70s and cut them off or something. You know what I mean?
I mean, what I'm saying is they took the stone from the spot.
Sorry.
And then Captain America put it back at the exact same time so it didn't fuck up the universe.
Okay, but Loki still has it.
Yeah. So that would mean that those events still happen and Loki escapes with the cube in that universe.
Yeah. But Loki already had an Infinity Stone.
Huh? But he was under arrest.
But now he's free.
Yeah, he's free with an Infinity Stone.
But he already had one. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, it's basically the old Loki, but with the new Infinity Stone.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
Wait, what Infinity Stone did he have on his stick?
He had a blue one that erases your memories.
Are you serious? So what does this cube do?
I have no clue.
Okay. And then what else? There's the time one that Doctor Strange has. Oh, so that's the coolest part of the movie, dude. That Doctor Strange looked at all 14 million outcomes, and the only outcome he saw was to know that the woman would, like, trust, you know what I mean, Hulk, remember, on the rooftop? And she's like, maybe he did this because You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And because she's not just a human with emotions and stuff like that, she's just a highly intelligent, like, god time creature. You know what I mean? So she was like able to think about that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then she gave it to him. I'm like, whoa. I like that.
I kind of like that everyone was shooting down Captain America as just shitty kind of optimism. It's like, don't worry, everything will be fine. It's like, no, it will not.
No, 'cause I think after like 10 years, you know what I mean? They're trying to put like... I think they wanted to do that because that's how Captain America is. But I think because how like we perceive like entertainment makes sense. They thought it would be better to just bash on Captain America that we've created this entire time. You know what I mean? And that it'd have more impact. You know what I mean? That's what I think.
So you don't like it?
No, I like it, but I think they only did it because they knew that that's the type of entertainment that we like now. Make sense?
Yeah.
Like in the 90s and 70s, like probably in the 1920s and 30s, it was easy to have a character like Captain America, you know what I mean? Or not even 30s, probably 40s. To have someone like Captain America come in and be that figure and be repetitive, always be that character, you know what I mean? But we can't, we don't like that.
Do you think, like, our grandkids are gonna look at us as, like, the generation of just fucking doom and gloom?
You already asked me this. Yeah, I don't know, probably.
Like,
what if they become optimistic? Oh, look at that car. Yeah, what if they become optimistic and they're like, why are you so fucking depressed all the time?
Because, like, I'm pretty sure the generation before, like, I guess, the 50s.
We're depressed?
Wait. I don't know. Never mind. Movie. What else is there? Oh. I kind of liked how they did the hair thing. For Scarlett.
Oh yeah, why did they cut her hair?
Johansson.
I don't know what hair thing.
Like, her hair, it grew out the dye.
Yeah.
So just throughout the movie, that bit of...
Yeah, blonde.
Yeah, that bit of blonde just keeps going down.
Yeah.
So I guess that sort of implies that she's just, like, so fucking into this that she just hasn't bothered to cut her hair.
Oh yeah. I was thinking of Captain Marvel. Was it supposed to be a woman?
Captain Marvel?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think she's a woman in the comics.
Oh, okay. I don't know. That's so lame.
Yeah.
Because it's like, then why didn't she just come earlier and fix everything?
I just think it was just kind of a dumb excuse that they just planted throughout the movie.
Yeah.
Like, why weren't you here? There's other planets, dude. I was like, we had Thanos here, you fucking bitch.
Yeah.
And they don't even, like, question it throughout the movie. They just take that response. They're like, oh, you're right.
But my legs falling asleep. These office chairs aren't too comfortable.
I thought it was funny that, in the last Avengers movie, they had the most powerful Avenger have, like, a thing where he has to literally go to his mom and have her make him feel better.
Who?
Thor.
Oh, yeah. These fucking coins everywhere. Look at that. Fuck my leg, dude. What else do you have about the movie? What else do you have to say about the movie?
Let's see. So the beginning. kid on the bicycle.
Who?
When Ant-Man comes out of the van and he's like walking down the road and there's fucking garbage everywhere.
Okay.
The kid on the bicycle goes by and he just says it. And he's like, hey kid. And he like turns around and looks at him and he's like, what the fuck's going on?
Yeah.
And he just turns and drives back. Keeps going.
What about it?
Like, it's been 5 years. He shouldn't be catatonic. He could have asked a question.
Listen to commercials.
He is on a bicycle with an Xfinity shirt on and a backpack, listening to the live radio as he pedals around the beach.
That's Oceanside, and then right across the street there's a hippie van pulling up.
Where?
Right
Oh, hell yeah.
Look at her. Ooh, look at the curves. Look at her paint job.
Did I tell you that the reason they can't make those vans anymore is because, like, or they literally can't make the vans anymore?
What do you mean?
The way they're built is, like, unsafe for cars.
Oh yeah, I know that, but I thought you meant they literally can't.
Like, they legally cannot make a car like that.
Yeah.
If you get hit head on, you're just fucking dead. Avengers. Oh.
What do you have to say about it?
It's a good movie. The ending was a little cringy.
We can just move on if you want.
It kind of just like ramps up the whole movie into absolute chaos.
Yeah. I like how it wasn't like any build up, they just kind of jumped into it.
Well, there was kind of a build up. There was.
But it wasn't anything. It's not like they spent the whole hour and a half building it up and the other hours.
Oh yeah, that's kind of true. They didn't really fight anyone during the whole back in time thing.
But what I'm saying is, like, the first
just
20 minutes is sort of like the build up, and the rest of the movie was just down there trying to get the stones. You know what I mean? And all the action going on.
Well, there really was no action until that Thanos just fucking nuked their house.
Oh, well, yeah. But I'm saying, like, the pursuit.
When we were walking through the hall of the movie theater, I think I kind of mumbled it, but I said I'm gonna go into the jewel room and vape.
No, yeah, I heard you.
With my e-vape. It's like a disposable fucking THC vape. And I walked in there, and there's like two guys just in the open.
Okay.
And then I was too fucking awkward to just walk out, so I went into the bathroom stall, closed it, stood in front of the toilet, squatted down for like 30 seconds, then I got up, flushed the toilet, and walked out.
Really?
Yeah.
You should at least stood in the stall and vaped.
Well, there was a guy in the stall next to me, so he could have seen the fucking vapor just floating above my...
Dude, pussy. I would have got out and hurried up and did it. And I would have watched you, he told me. Actually, I was feeling sick. I don't think I would have done that. I would have fuck off. He's like, Caleb, can you watch me? Fuck off, Adam! I'm not feeling too hot.
He was just dying on the wall.
Yeah. Oh my god, it was not feeling too hot. Like, I think if I just smoked that one cigarette and let you have the rest, I would have been straight. But then I split the other one with you. You fucking retard.
Alright, you know that? Do you have anything else about the movie?
No, not really.
Yeah.
I was gonna ask you if you wrote more.
I did not, but I've been thinking about it.
What were you thinking about?
Fuck, have I been thinking about it?
Where are you gonna take the story?
So I'm going to have him meet Kashka. And then I think I just gotta have them fucking wander around and do shit until I can think of something to happen. Like they're in the park and something happens, I guess.
Okay, well, well, this is just a written story, so you can go, it's not like a film, you can go in any direction. So what aspect about this character do you want to present first? And it's like, you don't want to do something crazy first, you want to show, like, the most craziest part of them.
Well, I want something to happen, and then sort of continue his thing. Because I don't want it to be just like, he's introduced, major life shit happens, play off that until the thing. I want it to be some kind of padding between them.
That's not what I'm saying. Oh, I guess, I don't know what I'm saying. But what I'm trying to say is that the way you should be thinking is, what should I introduce to get me to what I want to show? Does that make sense? Oh, okay. I wasn't handing it to you, but I don't care.
Oh, okay.
But, you know what I mean? But what do you need to bring up right now that'll help you show something later? Make sense?
Well, I've already really set up what needs to be known for... I'm gonna kill off the mom. So, I want the mom to die as this sort of just the lady that lives downstairs and yells about tin cans falling over kind of thing.
So not his mother.
Huh?
It's not his mother dying, it's just his lady?
Well, it is his mother, but she's sort of seen as this lady.
That's what I'm saying.
Or he sort of just sees her as his
Yeah.
lady. And,
So you have to present him as someone who doesn't care about his mother like that. Right?
I guess, yeah.
So that's what I'd say. Because you can't just have mom have these interactions. His mother dies. Oh, I guess you can. If that's gonna be the thing that, say that happens halfway through the book. Say the whole book is the death of his mother. Maybe the purpose isn't to show the death of his mother. You know what I mean? In this like, interaction, it's to show how he acts after the death of his mother. I don't know what you're trying to show.
So that's supposed to be like he just sort of lives in this limbo of he keeps his own room completely separate from his mother so that she doesn't fucking trash it. And then he sort of has this OCD feel to him just because of how much he wants to keep down clutter. So he just sort of lives in this limbo of that, and then he goes to school and it's like a different life because he doesn't show anyone the inside of his house. And then once she dies, all the shit gets cleared out. Now he has to deal with like, oh, I didn't know my mother. How did she end up like this?
But is that what you want to talk about?
Why
are you talking about that? Why do you want to explore the mother and who she was, and why do you want to explore him exploring his mother?
Because it explore the relationship between them.
But why? Why after the death of her?
Because then it's like nothing can be done about it. He ruminates on the sort of lost time of it.
Yeah, so he looks at the death of his mother. I don't see. Just keep going. Sorry, maybe just keep explaining.
So talk about like the wasted time kind of thing. And then he, as the book goes on, he sort of develops this hoarding problem with cats. And then that's also like a link back to his heritage. And then he gets hooked on some like heroin drug, and his favorite cat dies. And he didn't notice it, and it was like a fucking 2 months later that he found the cat. Kind of thing. And that's all the story arc I have for him.
Okay, so it's not... Okay, so it's very much after the death of his mother that you want to truly show, right?
Yeah.
So exactly. So the way I think about it is you sort of have the whole arc, and then say the death of his mother is in the middle, and then you want to show what you truly want to show is that other half, right?
Mm.
So now you're trying to find this, right? The first half. What was I gonna say? I don't know, but we're working on that first half. I forgot what I was gonna say.
Because I would just kill her off instantly, but I feel like that's too fast. Like, it'd fuck up the pacing.
No, of course, yeah. And what was I gonna say about this? Yeah, my critique of it is that you don't want to just have, unless you do, I don't know. Do you want to just build this character and then have the mother die, and then he acts like this after her death? Or do you want to build up this character so when she dies, that's why he acts like that?
I want it to be, like, very much after the fact, he sort of develops as a person throughout this story.
Okay.
So before that, nothing really happens.
Okay.
So it'd be starting from, like, the interesting point in his life.
Okay, which is?
After his mother dies and all this shit happens.
Well, it doesn't start there. I thought we were starting before.
Hmm?
I thought the story starts before that.
Yeah, just barely. I introduced him, I'll introduce the other character, have something happen, and then...
Oh, so you're killing off pretty early?
Yeah. So I just need to figure out what that between part is. I know I have Kashka, but I can't just have them fucking buddy instantly.
Well,
They need to do something together.
Think of a story that's similar to this. That's the way I think of it sometimes. A story in which someone changed after the death of someone. Makes sense? And then look at how they built up to the death of that person. And then you can take ideas from it. I don't know.
It makes me think of Bridge to Terabithia.
What's that?
You don't know Bridge to Terabithia? Are you fucking kidding me?
No.
That's like the childhood staple, like, sad movie for everyone. It's that book, or it's that movie where that kid that kind of looks like my cousin, which I realize isn't very helpful for you, but he meets, like, a fucking fairy princess, whatever the fuck that trope is.
Oh, okay.
Pixie Dream Girl or whatever.
Yeah, Manic Pixie Dream Girl.
And they're, like, in elementary school, and then they build up their relationship, and they go into the woods, and they basically pretend that they're, like, the king and queen of this,
Woods?
Yeah, this, like, kingdom. And then, like, on the last, I'd say, like, quarter of it, she fucking dies. And the rest of it is just him going through the 7 stages of grief.
Is it interesting?
It's yeah. I guess. I remember they made us read it in high school. They talked about how the kid goes through the 7 stages of death, or the 7 stages of grief.
Oh, well, my only question is, before the death of the wife or whatever, what was a really key moment, in any part, but just before the death of her?
So right before it, he basically betrays the girl, I guess. The art teacher wants to take him to an art exhibit, and he decides not to tell her. He decides not to tell, like, the girl, and he goes with the art teacher to the art museum, and while he's there, the girl goes and there's like a river that they swing across by this old rope.
Okay.
And that's their gate to Terabithia. So apparently while he was at the art museum, she fucking swung and the branch snapped and she got blown down the river and died. So that's what happened right before it.
Do you want something like that?
Hmm?
Do you want something like that?
Nah. I don't want it. I don't want something so dramatic. I want it to feel sudden, I guess.
So you just want like an event to happen?
Yeah.
Okay, well think of the baby in a van. Think of your story, and then think of a baby in a van type of situation that you could just put into your story.
What's relevant to the universe?
Huh?
Something. What's relevant to the universe that I could do?
Like, what grade is he in?
Really?
Right there.
Oh, okay. I thought you were looking in the mirrors.
Well, let's see if he takes the left. You know what I mean? I could sort of see all the way down. Oh, no, I can't. Should I get out? Check? You know what I mean? What if he does take the left? No, he's gone.
He didn't turn in?
I don't know, I couldn't see.
Where's the weed?
In the trunk.
Oh, okay. We're fine.
You're
You're not like buzzing or anything, right?
No, but I'm tired.
He comes by, hand me the jewel.
What were you saying?
So the baby out of a van.
Oh yeah, that you could put in. What grade is he? What time of year is that?
I'm thinking winter.
He goes sledding.
Huh?
He goes sledding with the girl. And something happens at the sledding area.
Nah, it's like in the middle of the city.
How old is he?
Huh?
Grade? What grade is he in?
I'm thinking like either freshman or like 8th grade.
Okay, what type of city? Like New York City or like...
It'd be like the scope of New York City, but it'd be this sort of rustic European style buildings.
Oh yeah. You told me it's New York, right?
Huh? Yeah. And it has like neon lights and shit around it. They're all over it.
8th grade. What part of the year is that? Winter?
I think I just thought of something.
What?
I could have them find something like very illegal, like an access code to a fucking security bot or something like that.
Okay.
And they do something with that, and then that leads to he stores it at the house, and the police sort of break in and find her with this very illegal object, and then she gets fucking toted off and executed or something like that.
You gonna kill off the girl too?
Huh?
You gonna kill off the girl too?
No, they wouldn't. The police wouldn't know about the kids. They just find like GPS track the fucking thing into to his house, and they found the woman there.
Wait, sorry. Can you go back over it again?
So they find something that would
The
be
two.
yeah, that would be very illegal.
Like access code.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm thinking maybe like. Yeah, something like that. And then throughout the sort of chapter, there's like police just following the GPS until finally they just store it in his house and like hide it in the kitchen somewhere, and then they go and do something, and then they come back to find out that the police fucking like broke in, took the lady, or took his mom, and then she's put in jail and like executed over a little bit.
But is that how you want to kill her off?
Thinking maybe.
Why?
Because it's more... It surges a plot more than, like, she just has a heart attack or something.
Yeah, I guess, but I don't know. It just seems too convenient for him to find a code that kills his mother.
Why would it be convenient from
Well, it's just like,
a reader's perspective?
No, it just seems... I don't know how to say it. Like, it's interesting, but I don't know how I feel about it. That's really it.
Like, what specifically bugs you about it?
Well, like, how convenient it is. It's like you happen to find a code that he leaves at his house that kills his mother. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
I guess maybe because we're talking about it, maybe? You know what I mean? I don't know.
Like, it's a convenient way of doing it from my standpoint as a writer.
Yeah.
But I don't feel like it...
That's what I'm saying. Maybe that's why I said maybe because we're
yeah.
talking about it. That's why I think that way.
Okay. So what else?
So she killed, executed.
Mm-hmm.
And what?
And then they do something like section his fucking house for a while or something like that, so you'd have to go and live with someone.
With who? Family member or friend?
Probably the neighbor.
Okay.
So the neighbor's the one that provides the Wi-Fi and like showers and shit.
For how long? Are you gonna follow their story?
Hmm?
Are you gonna follow their story?
The neighbor and the kid?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. What are you gonna explain about them?
I'm trying to think. Because there's a way I want to take it, but I'm aware that I can get carried away, and if I just pile in the dark and terrible shit, then it'll be a bit too much.
Okay.
But I do kind of want it to be sort of a grooming situation, I guess.
How so?
Like, at this point in life, the character is old enough that the neighbor leaves him alone, but when he was a kid, he was like a pedophile or something like that.
The neighbor?
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's why he still, like, helps him into his teens, because he feels bad about it or something like that.
Okay. How are you gonna bring that up?
I do not know.
Okay. But keep going.
It's gotta... I'd have to bring it up when it's, like, natural.
Well, it's a book. All I know about books is there's no rules. Like, if you just want to have a chapter that goes back to 1930 whatever, where this guy's a kid, and explore this guy's story about how he's a pedophile when this guy's a kid, you can just do that in a book. You know what I mean? Have one single chapter that explores this guy's thoughts, his inner thoughts during this time.
Yeah. I don't know. I like things to be more subtle.
But I'm saying you could do that.
Yeah.
That's how books work. So he's a pedophile. He's helping because he's an ex-pedophile.
He's an ex-abuser, I guess. Because he's still a pedophile. He's just... The kid's not really, like, in his range anymore. So... Over some length of time, it'd explore their, like, sort of odd relationship.
Like, do you have a scene in mind? Or, like, an interaction in mind?
Well, there's the obvious, like, confrontation scene where he really, like, thinks about what happened when he was a kid.
You can have him confront him?
Yeah. I think that's a natural way to take things.
And what happens?
I do not know.
Who wins?
Hmm?
Who wins?
I don't know. It's like a point I'm setting, and then depending on what happens between that time really sort of shapes what's going to happen.
Okay.
So if, like, it's a good relationship, maybe he confronts him and then just, like, cuts him out of his life. Or if he's in a really, like, vindictive time in his life, he'll fucking, like, report him. Or he'll, like, destroy his life or something like that.
And it depends how you want to present the character, too.
Yeah.
I'm tired. Oh, look at that car. She a beaut.
Everyone around here has, like, nice cars.
It's the United States. We care about our cars. What?
Every time I see, like, a European car, they're always, like...
Small?
Yeah, they're, like, small and, like, buggy looking. And, like, I don't think I've ever seen, like, a muscle car in, like, a European city or something.
Probably some rich person.
Like, you think the fanciest you see in, like, movies and shit like that is, like, a limo,
Or, like, yeah. How long is the story gonna be?
I'm just gonna keep going until it's done.
Like, would you go on years? Like, you follow this character for years?
Yeah. Because there's like 5 or 6 characters at least I want to be...
Put in?
Yeah.
That's throughout his life?
Huh?
Throughout his life?
Well, the story's not exactly about him. He's just the starting point.
What do you mean it's not about him?
Like, his, like, chapters are about him, but...
Oh.
If I move on to another character, it's like... about their character, that character.
Maybe a bit too much. You okay?
It fucking burns.
That's how I feel.
Well, maybe I'm not keeping up the suction, so it burns my lips. So I haven't decided yet if I want to make... I want it to be like a fascist government.
That he lives in?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I'm trying to decide if I want to make it like a sort of everything's running mostly smoothly kind of thing, or go into true dark or grim dark.
No, you gotta go grim dark.
I don't know.
You can never present fascism. If you're a true libertarian, like liberty, and you want people to have freedom, you'll never present fascism as good. That's all I'm saying.
Well, I'm not gonna present it as good, but I'm gonna present it as like right now it's not all that bad. Like,
oh yeah, I guess maybe.
Like everyone's a little bit relaxed on the rules.
That's not fascism. Fascism is like only rules.
Well, it's like if a fascist government had... What would lead to a fascist government having, like, the problem, like, down in Mexico where cops will just take bribes?
Not that much. Literally nothing. Why do you think literally anytime socialism or fascism or any type of has been implemented anywhere, there's always been someone who's risen up, who's always been. So I don't know. I couldn't answer that question.
Like a lack of funding, maybe?
I don't know. It could. Oh well, it could be because it's in a futuristic society. They think that if we were to do a socialism type society, that if it was so futuristic that 50% of the jobs are gone, because they say we're gonna lose 80% of our jobs in the next 10 years, which isn't true. But a lot of jobs are gonna be gone. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So they say like when 50% of the jobs are gone, it's like okay, maybe some socialism-esque government could work.
You know what I was just thinking about?
What?
If we get to a point where robots do all the menial jobs, wouldn't that mean like an evolution in our sort of intelligence? Because there's no... You're either like homeless or you like do one of these more high-level jobs.
Yeah, probably. I don't know.
Because then it would be like almost everyone is now trained as like a scientist or like a programmer or something like that.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh yeah, but I'd want to tone down the fascism in the beginning.
I mean, ramp it up.
Yeah.
When?
I could either I have two events that could change the government planned out. There's one where one of the character arcs is this lady, or this girl has, like, she just gets to the, maybe like, or just about like gets to the end of her arc, and then I'd kill her off with like a cop or something like that. I want to build her up as someone that's just fucking terrified of cops. And in the end, that's the reason she gets shot, is because he was suspicious of her. Because she was like, she'd like look over at him and like rush off or something like that. And that's how she gets shot. And that would be
the first hint of a fascist government.
Well, that would be like an event in the show or the writing.
That's what I'm saying. It's just like a hint.
Yeah, and it kind of goes against the fascist thing, because it wouldn't be on the news like I would want it to be. Because like,
I want it to be.
I want it to be like in the background. People are like talking about like, oh, what's happened after.
Well, no, they can talk about it. Word of mouth is a real thing, but you not showing it on the news, I think, shows a fascistic government. You know what I mean?
I'd want it like in the background, the TV's going or something like that.
No, it would have to be like word of mouth.
Actually, if I do. Oh, I've just been fucking silent for the last, like, 30 seconds. I was thinking, one of the things was, like, instead of, like, a security guard, they find, like, a router key that goes to the, like, big internet, instead of, like, the civilian internet. And then that would establish that, like,
they had a locked system.
Most computer shit is like illegal for civilians. So if I have in some places, like maybe shady.
And this is during the first story arc with the girl?
Huh? The internet code thing would be in there, yeah.
Okay, this is the first story. Okay.
And then in like the background I could have of like if they're in like a drug den or something like that, and just in the corner someone has set up or like a illegal computer system, and it's just like this shitty video put together by some random guy that like goes over what happened.
Yeah.
How long was I holding that?
I don't know the whole time you're talking. I don't know, man. We're done with the podcast, so whenever you're ready to wrap it up.
Okay. Do you have anything planned for your movie thing, or is it too early?
It's too early. I'm still trying to be meeting with 2 people tomorrow. I'm meeting with a lot of people all the time, talking to a lot of people. I'm trying to see if I can get it filming at the end of this month. But we'll see.
How many people have you gotten?
It seems like people like you who are willing to help me like on certain days, I have at least access to like 5. But that's okay because then I can schedule different people on different days. Make sense? But I still don't have a lead actor. Make sense? So I'm meeting with 2 people who want to be leads tomorrow. With that being said, would you like to wrap up?
I think so.
What are your last words?
Jewels are weird.
Alright. Ladies and gentlemen, this is story time. Oh, how do you feel about Endgame?
It's pretty good. It's very much a superhero movie.
Okay, well, we're signing off.
Yep.